Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the next episode of Pawn Shop of Life. Hope you liked the new intro music. Got a little dueling genres going on there. I am your host, Brad BCG, as always. I have my co-host, Tammy B48. Producer, Baby Kangaroo, is in the house again with his daiquiri over there coughing away and his push-to-cough button. And we also have our guest host has decided to come back a third time. I believe he's a glutton for punishment. JoSoap.
Glad to be here.
Today's topic is banging JoSoap's wife. No, I'm just kidding. There's an inside joke for that one, and it's inside her. That would be the joke. No, that's even. Wow, I should probably stop while I'm ahead, huh?
She is not going to let me go home.
How we doing, JoSoap's wife? Hope you're doing good. He said you listened to it, so we had to take a stab at it. Get it? Yeah, I got all the fucking dumb jokes today.
I think maybe you should quit while you're in a really deep hole.
Yep.
My dad always taught me the first rule to getting out of a deep hole is to stop digging.
Did you just call it a really deep hole?
This is how this podcast is going to go. Okay.
All right. Then. We're setting the tone right away.
All right.
You wanted me to stop digging, and you're just making it worse. So, I mean, all right.
I didn't mean to tee that one up for you, but apparently I did.
You
really
did. You didn't think that one through. That's all good, though.
Yeah.
Now, today's topic is kind of a challenge for my producer and my guest host, auto racing. I think Tammy and I have a little bit of insight for some NASCAR because we went to them many, many moons ago. I used to watch F1 back in the day, and I've gotten back into it thanks to Apple. Thank you, Apple, for bringing F1 to some newer people again, or revisits.
I hope they lose $500 million on this fucking deal.
Or you could just get Apple TV.
No.
Tell us why you're upset about that.
Because the app worked perfectly fine. It was perfectly fine.
The F1 app?
The F1 app.
You have to be specific.
Yeah, the F1 app. And there was not a single thing wrong with it. F1 made money on it, but because Apple went to them and said, hey, we're going to pay you. What was the number?
I want to say $4 billion. Wasn't that what it was?
No. That's a capitalized worth of, or no.
No, Apple's worth $4 trillion.
I know that they needed 150 million new users every single year to break even. That's just to break even. And I don't know. You know, if you go online and you look at what people are saying, they're not going to get 150 million new users.
Yeah, okay, 750 million.
What they're counting on is people who don't watch Formula One or in the past haven't watched Formula One like you are now going to be
interested
in it. But the problem with that is I don't know. Joe, you can answer this question maybe. How many people who don't have Apple TV are going to get Apple TV just to watch Formula One?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to pull in the big market with Formula One. I think everybody was really happy watching it on ESPN and, through the app. So,
and I was perfectly content paying Formula One. What were we paying? $90 a year, something like that?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I would have paid a lot more. I didn't tell them that, but they gave you all the coverage from,
They let you go back watch old races when the cars were actually good.
Don't look at me. You two go ahead at it.
So,
well, I think also, though, if it's on Apple TV, they may not bring in a whole bunch, but then all of the other content that's on Apple TV, I think they're also banking on
getting people and keeping them.
Yeah.
Well,
they've got a history
because the
of
other
doing
content on Apple TV is phenomenal.
But
and
are
then
they going to
added F1, so then it's
they going to get 150 million new users each year and keep those 150 million?
I don't know. When you start using Apple TV and see how easy it is.
It's no different than any other streaming service.
Well, sure.
And if you already have another streaming service, you're not going to sign up for Apple TV just to get Formula One.
Maybe you will.
Maybe you will.
If you got an Amazon Fire Stick, and then you, for whatever reason, decide just like, I'm going to sign up for Apple just to give it a whirl because I want to watch my racing shit, you're probably going to swap over. Because we used to use the Amazon Fire Sticks too.
No, we use Roku.
Roku? Whatever.
See,
yeah, once we swapped over, it was done.
IPTV, so
Hey, look at that plug.
Oh no, that's like the IPTV is a decentralized group of a gazillion companies that provide streaming services or television streaming services. So, but okay, so
You mean
Joe,
hit
how
pause
do
so
you
can
feel
move
about
that cable over the thing so you don't hit it? You just flip it over. Get
We're
it.
good.
Just go ahead and flip it over so we can. Yeah, you go. Make it happen so we're not hitting it the whole time.
I think he means Joe do this.
Yeah, let's just get it out the way.
Stop picking on me.
Too late.
You're the one who decided to come back.
I mean, it's not like you haven't been here. Is this your fourth time or your third time?
Third, I think.
Third time, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So, I mean, you have a pretty good understanding of what goes on here.
Yeah.
How many more episodes do I have to be here for before I get my name on the show?
Your name's on the show.
I might be PCSing here, so
Oh, well, you're right about
Hey,
that.
If you PCS, then you can be a permanent get or a
You
permanent.
can be a
guest-
permanent co-host.
Hey, co-host.
love it. Tell the wife tonight.
I got a second gig.
It doesn't pay anything.
In fact, it cost me money, but
Either does the primary job for some people here.
Ain't that
ouch.
only since February?
I still say January.
Hey, Rams. All right, so what's the? I don't know. I was trying to look up to see if there was any articles on how Apple expects to make money off of that deal, but if they're worth $4 trillion, again, it's like the change in your couch.
Well, so the question is going to be about that particular issue is they got a 5-year deal. Do they renew it at the end of the 5 years? That's really the $64,000 question.
I mean, if you mean Apple or
Yeah,
which-
Apple.
sure, why not? I mean, what?
I mean, if they're not making any money, if they haven't added, significantly new users, why would you keep outlaying that kind of money?
I saw an article on like iPhones. It's like Android and Apple iPhones or whatever it was, and it was like Apple doesn't necessarily make hardly anything. Their revenue is hardly at all on the phones themselves. It's everything else that they get.
Which
you
is shocking because they're the most expensive cell phone on the market.
on. Are they?
Yes.
Pretty sure they're not.
No, they are.
No, I'm pretty sure they're not.
Okay. Here, well,
I wonder if there's a way to look at that up, producer.
I think too, though, for Apple, like I think they're also banking on a lot of people who got Apple to watch F1 movie, and then like, hey, we can keep them
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
by hey, start watching
Now
the
we
sport.
can start. Yeah.
Because I mean, that got me back into it.
Yeah.
Especially hearing him talk about it. And then I watched the movie and I was like, man, that was a really good movie. And I used to like that shit back in the day. So yeah, it got me, but I was already, unfortunately, I was an Apple guy.
Apparently, it is an Android. It's $109,680,000.
There you go. See, is that the gold plated one?
Yeah, it's the Agent Q Himalaya Alligator Gold and Full Diamond.
No,
Oh my God. Who would buy that?
People with shit
Stupid
tons
money.
of
Yeah.
money.
That guy who works in that casino on Ocean's 13.
Yes.
Okay. Touche.
No, there was another phone that was more expensive than Apple, and it was, I forgot. Look up the world's most secure phone period or some shit, and it was like $3,000 or something stupid, which is obviously more expensive than Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't even think they're like 1 terabyte thing. Okay, we're sidetracked.
Anyway, we're
Jesus
totally
Christ.
sidetracked.
yeah, we're talking about auto racing today.
God almighty. Yeah, y'all haven't done a whole lot of auto racing talk because I told y'all this is going to be on y'all to talk about auto racing.
Yeah, you're talking
So-
about phones that are like encrypted secure shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't count those in. I'm talking about if you go buy a Samsung.
You just go to Walmart.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. F1. So your Baby Kangaroo, you're giving up this season?
Apparently, I'm giving up for next 5 seasons.
Because you're just not enjoying the.
Okay,
New power plant?
It's not just Apple, right? So I probably could have put up with one or the other, but the racing is stupid with the new power plants and with the Apple merger. I use that term real loosely. When you put two of them together, I'm not even interested in watching Formula One this year.
What are you talking about? The power plant? What does that mean?
Basically the engine.
Oh,
So
They went from
the FIA mandated 50% of the power for this year and the next several years has to be generated via electric motor.
it's a hybrid car. Little tiny electric one, a little tiny gas powered one.
So the problem is when they're racing, if they go too fast, they run out of power, and then the car slows way
drains
down.
the battery.
So they have to slow down and like coast around the corners in order to generate enough battery charge to then carry enough speed to continue on lap after lap after lap.
So imagine if you're doing 100 miles an hour in your car, and that's as fast as you can absolutely go. You have to start slowing down to like 90 for the electric battery to charge up for you to get back up to 100 miles an hour.
and who thought this was a good idea?
Formula One, FIA.
So Formula One, and it was they're trying to like do things like clean carbon, no zero fuel emissions by 2030, trying to make things better for the environment.
Sure,
But-
because F1 racing is the cause of any kind of
So it's really interesting you say that,
emissions.
though. And what everybody's talking about is, so let's get this straight. You're trying to make the cars green, yet you literally burn tens of thousands of gallons of diesel fuel and jet fuel.
Right.
Flying planes
and trucks.
with cars on them and trucks with cars on them all over the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you think that by going green on the track,
That
you're
this-
making a difference.
That this, what does the race usually last? 25,
It
30 minutes?
it can't last more than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they're about an hour and a half race.
For 2 hours, you're going to cut down the emissions by how much?
So they're pandering to people
It's
so that
stupid.
people won't go,
That's
you need
dumb.
to stop doing that. You're wasting energy.
And it's
Okay.
it's not like the races are like close by, so I only have to drive right down the road.
Yeah.
We went from I forgot where the first one went, but we went from China to Japan.
Yeah,
Not
Australia.
that it's that
Australia,
to China to Japan, and the next one's Miami.
Yep.
And it's like,
Well, there were supposed to be 2 in between those, though.
yeah, I know, but there's other.
But you're
worldly
right.
things.
Formula One is not great about like lumping races that are close to one another together.
Yeah, I mean,
But you want to know what part of that is driven by?
money,
Joe's favorite race.
Monaco.
Oh, stop it. I hate Monaco. You know I hate Monaco.
Because the entire series pivots around that one race.
I thought you loved it.
I can't stand it.
You
That
were-
race needs to go off the calendar.
Wow, you were
Why?
bragging about it.
All right, so Monaco is a street race,
Street course.
street
What it means.
course, and it's very narrow. There's no passing.
so it just stays that way the whole race.
Takuma
Pretty
Sato
much.
passed, or tried to
Yep,
anyway.
so
Did he end up in the wall?
whoever qualifies in the
he
front
ended up
row
crashing the other
That's
car.
who wins.
are really the only two that are in the running for who's eligible to win the race.
Yeah.
And it is the most boring event to watch every single season.
Yeah.
But the race is in a very, Monaco's got a lot of money. All the rich people show up in their boats, spend millions of dollars there for this race.
Sure.
So it attracts everybody. So they continue to have it on the calendar. It's just not fun to watch
On TV.
on TV at all.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom Brady went. He was throwing footballs from one yacht to another.
Wasn't he throwing the? Ow! Wasn't he throwing the actual trophy or some shit?
I don't think so.
I think he was throwing.
That was after his Super Bowl win with Tampa.
Yeah, that was it, wasn't it?
No,
That wasn't in Monaco.
that was in Tampa.
Oh,
It was like they were doing a boat parade or something like that.
But I mean, that gives you a good example of, it's all it is a party week. And Formula One Formula One doesn't necessarily want to leave Monaco. They just want to make the racing better. And so they told Monaco, the principality, the second smallest country in the world, look, we want you to change the racetrack so we can actually have some passing so the racing can be engaging. And Monaco said, pound sand, fuck you.
did they really?
Yes. We're Monaco. We don't have to do it. And so Formula One went, okay, we're really sorry. We'll just say we'll take what you can give us. They should say, fuck you, Monaco. We're dropping you off the schedule.
You could probably make a more interesting race someplace else.
Absolutely, you
There-
could
there
make
are
a more
tracks.
interesting race somewhere else.
Malaysia, Turkey's got a track. Korea's got a track. There are tracks all over that.
There are countries that would kill for that race.
Yeah.
Nuremberg or whatever it is.
The Nürburgring.
Nürburgring.
Yeah, you just can't get that straight.
Nürburgring.
The Nürburgring.
Nürburgring.
Yeah, so going back to these power plants, so like even starting the race when they do the formation lap, like they have to go at such a speed to make sure they charge that battery before they get to the start line.
Oh my
because some of
God.
these cars will have a low charge.
So do you think after this season they'll rethink this strategy?
So actually, I heard a rumor
Yeah.
that possibly they're going to go back to V10 engines next year because I think FIA is starting to realize
This ain't working.
This is
probably was not the best move.
yeah.
While they're at it, can they can the Apple deal?
No.
Just get Apple TV.
Fuck that,
The
no.
subscription is $50 a year.
I'm bummed out that we're not getting 2 races this month. However, this gives them a month that they're going to be able to sit down and like hash some things out.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to come out of it is, and I really hope, hey, like let's go back to V10 engines. And you know, I'm all for the battery and the boost it provides. I'm having a lot of fun this season watching when they use the boost button, how fast they can pass somebody. I think that's great for racing. It's like Mario Kart. It's fantastic. I mean, we've had more passing this season we haven't had in a while in the sport.
Can we do a V10 with the?
I don't see
That's
why
what
not.
he's saying, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so then it's up to the driver to, if he really wants to charge it, hey, slow down a little bit, charge it up, and then you can use it. But yeah, go back to the V10 engins, and I think they're
And
going to evaluate.
they can't revamp it in mid season, obviously, because you.
Well, they could say, hey, those cars you raced last season, drag them back out of storage. We're going to use those now, but they won't.
Yeah, I think they'll finish the season with what they have.
Yeah.
But I think they'll make the decision and say, hey, next season we're going to scrap this
Yeah.
same car model, but you're going to go to V10 engines.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
this
you,
is
you remember the obviously you remember the movie F1. You know, there's the race champion and then a constructors champion. All right. Well, Joey made a really good point the other day. He was like, after the first or second race, he's like, wait a minute. So the last year's constructors champion couldn't even put a lap in the race at all. And I was like, you are correct. And he was like, what the fuck kind of shit is
the
that?
pace car had done more laps than last year's constructor champion.
McLaren was the constructor champion last year.
Oh, okay.
And the second race, which was China, they didn't even come out.
Okay, we need to go back to a Formula One car that sounds like this.
That's a good sound. We can't hear it.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy just hearing that.
That I remember, like my folks would watch stuff like this, or maybe they were watching Indy. I don't know.
Oh, remember? Imagine being at NASCAR in Vegas when your dad took us.
Yeah.
That's
And they just come by and they just go,
Oh yeah.
like the stands don't vibrate, nothing. It's just,
Yeah.
that's Fernando Alonso's 2005 Renault turning 19,000 RPM.
just 19?
Just 19.
Just 19.
Faster than your weed eater out of a V10.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm all for taking measures, making things better for the environment. Like, hey, the 2030 carbon fuel, zero emission. Hey, I'm fine with that. But I think we went really extreme this year.
Yeah, it
on
sounds
the
like
50-50
it.
hybrid.
It sounds like they went a little overboard with their thought process there.
Yeah,
I told Joey already that I'm enjoying this season to just see the fuck ups.
Oh, and there's plenty of them.
Yeah,
And
it's been good.
because it's been so long, it's been 20 years since I was interested in it. Now I'm watching it. I'm just like, why didn't he go? And it's like it's Verstappen.
Yep.
Like he was like qualified 6th, and then all of a sudden he's 18th, and I'm just like, he didn't hit the button right. So he just
There's
stalled.
only one bright star in this season.
What's that?
Kimi Antonelli.
hands
No.
down.
Is this his first season?
Second.
How did he do last year?
I mean, he was competitive. He wound up like 10th in points, I think.
Yeah, I think he had a podium or 2
Yeah.
last season.
Did he?
Yep.
Because he's won back to back this time. Spoiler
Well-
alert.
I'm reminded of what Dale Sr. said about Jeff Gordon. He's too young, he's too good looking, and he's too damn fast.
Well, give give
God rest his soul, by the way.
Oh yeah, Jeff Gordon.
No,
You didn't specify.
Dale Sr.
That's probably not a whole lot of listeners who know that is.
Jeff Gordon or Dale Sr.?
Probably both.
That's not our target audience, right?
No, not really. I actually don't know what. Do we have a target audience?
Yeah, I'm not sure we do.
Somebody who will listen. That's my target audience.
There you go. That is our target audience. We try and make everything entertaining, right?
I think they're entertaining and informative.
It's always fun to see a young kid, and I think Kimi was younger than Sebastian Vettel when he got his win.
Oh yeah,
he's the youngest to ever win a race,
and he's also the youngest cat to
be leading the championship.
Points.
Yeah, and he went out there and he not only is he in the lead, but he is pulling away from Russell. And I watched something after this last race in Japan that they did the evaluating the data, and they were like, hey, when they pulled George Russell in for that pit stop for the safety car that he didn't know was going to happen, he was losing time to Leclerc, so it made sense to put him in at that time to change the tires and get him back out. Whereas Antonelli
was opening.
Yeah, he just kept getting faster and faster and kept opening the gap, so they didn't have to worry about bringing him in because he just kept increasing his speed and his distance. So he's a legit racer, and I think he's going to be some serious competition for Russell this year.
I'm just wondering how much it is just it being Mercedes.
Oh no, there's no question about it. I mean, look, you can't.
I'm just wondering, could we just put Verstappen in that Mercedes right now?
He'd be the dominant driver.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh no, you can't win the championship, either one, the constructors or the drivers, without having two things. First of all, you have to have a great car, and you have to have a great driver.
Yeah.
Without both of those things, you'll never win it. You can't put a good driver in a great car and win it.
But before the season started, everybody's prediction was George Russell's going to win the championship this year. He's driver number 1. Kimi's number 2. 3 races in.
It's the flip.
And I don't think you now have a clear number 1 driver. Kimi can drive the car.
Well, it's the same problem McLaren has. They don't have a clear number 1. I mean, I realize that Lando thinks he's the number 1 because he won it last year, but Oscar's got something to say about that. So,
Wasn't Norris second or third?
When?
In the points last year?
No, Lando Norris won.
Yeah, Lando won it last year.
And McLaren won the Constructors' Championship.
Where's the other guy?
Oscar Piastri? I think he was
guy.
third.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Because Verstappen was second, because it came down to the very last race.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best kind of championships.
Yeah, and Piastri for most of the season last year was
he was leading.
He was doing a good job. He was leading. He looked like the number 1 guy was going to take it. And then Norris came out of nowhere, and Piastri just crapped out. It was weird.
Couldn't handle the pressure.
It's that whole thing about 2 roosters in the hen house. Most teams do not want that. Mercedes had it with was it Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was watching some replays of that season, and they crashed one another out 7 times that year.
Good Lord.
And that's the thing that makes a team principal really insane. It's one thing if you crash out trying to pass another team's car, but when you crash out your teammate, you just killed both cars' chances of getting points that day. I don't think Toto Wolff was the team principal then.
Thanks, Toto.
He was.
Was he?
He was, yep.
God, I bet he lost his shit on that.
Toto.
Toto.
That was on
Toto.
that movie.
That was also the season, though, that Lewis Hamilton was losing to Rosberg and then intentionally drove slow in the last race to allow competitors to catch up to Rosberg so they would pass him so that Hamilton could try to save his season.
What?
Uh-huh. It's an ugly race. It's an ugly side of Hamilton that I do not like.
Oh, yeah. No, he's a petulant little shit.
Yeah, there we go.
And there we go.
And now we kick it off.
I mean, look, all you got to do is look back at the things he's done over the years, and you'll realize he's an asshole. He's all about Lewis Hamilton and never about anything else. But I mean, look.
Is he a talented driver?
That's true. Well, yeah, he has 7 world championships, so of course he's a talented driver.
So do you think he can back it up?
Yes,
Sure, he can.
He can drive.
If he's in a good car.
But like Hamilton's famous for the race will start. He gets involved in a wreck, turn one, maybe damages the front wing. He'll immediately get on the radio and be like, "Oh, we should just park the car,
Let's save the engine.
save the engine. Race is over."
Because you only get so many engines a season. Did y'all know that?
Oh,
didn't know
no,
that.
I didn't.
Yeah. You only
So
get so many engines. Is it 5 or 6?
I think it's 6 this year.
Really?
And if you take an extra one,
Penalty.
you start at the back of the grid. Doesn't matter whether you qualify. Like, there's no point in even qualifying if you take an extra engine or transmission.
For
You
every,
start at the
for
back of the
every
grid.
race past
No,
that?
No, just on the first race that you do it on.
So if it is 6 and I take the 7th and then wreck it out, can I take an 8th also? And start in the back in the next
Yeah,
race?
you
Yeah,
can
So
take
you
as
can
many
keep
as you-
going,
Yep.
but you're starting in the back every time you do it.
Yeah, so a few years back when it was Hamilton and Verstappen fighting for the championship, and Verstappen took the lead. Hamilton replaced his engine in Brazil, took a penalty, and then won every race after that because he had fresher engine.
Oh, get out.
And then they end up tied and went into the last race tied. So
yeah, that was an ugly. That was
Yeah.
the season with the restart and all that
Yep.
shit. And oh man, Mercedes was so mad.
So it literally was the movie F1 with the championship versus
Whoopsie.
the race.
in a way, yeah.
Gosh darn it.
How funny.
Isn't that what he said? Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it.
But I mean, yeah, that was a very
Watch your
very
language.
hotly contested season.
No. In F1 movie when he wrecked. Gosh darn it. Gosh. What did he say?
You talking about Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
You mean when he crashed a car the very first time when he was doing the trial?
Yeah, and he was doing it on purpose.
Oh no! Oh,
No,
during the race.
Yeah, and he was like, gosh darn it.
Whoopsie. I think he said whoopsie when he ran through the.
I know he said it. I mean, because he crashed like 3 times and he said something funny every single time. And one
Well,
of
that's
them was
just
like,
Coming in.
That's the way. The reason they do stuff like that now is because the
God,
the
darn
officials didn't used to listen in on the teams, but now officials listen in on all the team communications.
So what, they can't cuss?
No, they don't give a fuck about him cussing.
Oh.
No, it was just funny the way he said it because it was
But
like,
if they're talking about doing stuff like what Brad Pitt did, and then the team principal is telling him to do that, then they would get in trouble because it's a violation. But
But now
If
it's
it's-
even better because not only are the officials listening, but other teams listen to the
Other
team's
teams?
radios.
Oh, they're allowed?
Everybody listens
Yeah.
to everybody. Yep.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
well, I mean, you just get it right off of TV. Because you can. Okay, did you know? I don't know if I haven't used the Apple app at all on Formula One, but it used to be like you could say, "I want the in-car view of any of the 20 drivers," because this was last year, and I'm going to follow the entire race with the in-car view of that driver, and I'm going to hear everything he has to say to his pit crew.
I think you can still do it.
I think you can. I don't know. We've never really
I just watched the race. I don't know.
messed around with it, but
Can you, Joseph?
I think so.
Guess
I
you
would
can.
think that if they were going to go to Apple, they would still offer the same things that
You would hope so.
you know that were offered before. I can't see them being like, you're not allowed to do that anymore. That would be pointless.
I'm going to see if we can after this podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. It's like,
So, I mean, I love F1.
Ow, Bentley, go.
Years ago, when I first started watching it, my brother Rick and I would call one another on Sunday mornings and be on the phone for the entire race. This was before cell phones too. So, I mean, we would watch it on speed. That was when
Wow, that's an
Racing-
old channel. I remember
racing
that
television
channel.
was
Wow,
good.
When it was good. Yep.
on speed.
And they would show like rally
the
at 2 in
Ocho.
the morning and
Ice racing,
ice racing.
semi-truck racing. Like
Guys who
What?
said, "Hey, this is a really good idea. Let's take screws. We'll put them into our tires,
Was that-
and then we're gonna go turn hot laps on ice."
Ice road truckers or something. Is that what that was?
No, that
Oh,
ice
that
road
was something
truckers is
else?
guys who recover crash cars.
Oh, okay.
But they do have truck racing. They have flat track truck racing, and actually, Dakar has a field for trucks.
Yeah.
Somebody said, well, the trucks are going to be out there anyway. Why don't we have them race? And there's a good video of, I can't remember what the term is, like the fastest cars in Dakar, and a truck from another company is passing it on this flat section. And everybody's like, wow, that guy on that truck, he's insane.
All right, so the Japan race.
Yep.
Did you notice that Kimmy was losing time on the leader? I forgot who it was. And then as soon as that yellow flag came out, he pitted and he got fresh air. Yep. The gap just astronomically increased when he got fresh air.
And again, like you can't.
It was so funny.
You can't predict when a safety car is going to come out.
Yeah.
You know, so like, and it's only funny because George Russell has the worst luck when it comes.
He really does kind of have the worst luck.
He is the one driver that will consistently say, hey, leave me out. Let's see if a safety car comes out, and try to do it in one stop and not have any issues. And he misses it all the time. And like, I mean, he was just pulling out when Behrman had that crash that it went out. And then, Kimmy just whoop, right in. So, and you could, you heard the frustration on the radio with him, every freaking time. Like,
maybe Russell's going to be my guy I'm going to pull for then, because I got fucking shit luck too.
I mean, it sucks. He's always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
I think I'm going to be a Russell fan.
And he is a good driver. I mean, he is. And he's in a really fast car. And if this year is probably the best year he'll ever get at winning a championship. Because Mercedes clearly has a very fast car. But
how long has he been racing?
Point, 6 years, 8 years? Let's see.
I think like 8 years.
What's the average life expectancy of a race car driver?
In Formula One, it's really tough. Like you can't really predict it.
But I mean, like, there's always an average. 10 years, 12 years.
Well, I mean,
look, don't go into the old folks stuff. It's just that there's an average. It's like 10 years.
Probably 10 years average. But it really depends where you start out your career.
Well, yeah, sure. But I mean, I'm not trying to get into the weeds of the thing. It's like average age. The average lifespan of an NFL player is about 12 to 15.
Yeah.
Look, there's a Tom Brady who did 21 or 22 or 3, whatever the fuck he did. Sure, absolutely. Then there's one I played 9 months and give it up.
But if like you're Lewis Hamilton, who started out at McLaren,
and you said he's late 30s?
Yeah, no, he's 41, I think.
Did we say he was 40s?
40 or 41.
He ain't got long left, regardless of what age he started. He ain't got long left.
George Russell came in 2019. He raced for Williams from 2019 to 21.
Oh, okay, 7 years.
Well, and I think that's why he went to Ferrari for Hamilton. I think he knows that
certain wasn't going to win with Williams.
His time is coming up. He is now he will be a Ferrari driver. He'll be an ambassador for the sport. I think he'll retire, and Ferrari will keep him on.
Yeah,
in
like they
some
did
capacity.
Niki Lauda.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the guy who got
burned up.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's only one other driver with as many championships as he has.
Who, Lauda?
No,
Michael
George
Schumacher.
Russell. Not George. I mean, Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, Schumacher.
Yeah.
The guy that I liked back in the day.
So
he was actually racing whenever I was
interested
in it back in the day.
But when he was racing, I used to hate him.
Because he was the Michael Jordan of racing?
Well, it was the fact that you would watch F1, but you were watching F1 for who was going to get second.
Yeah, who was going to finish
because
second.
You already knew who was going to get first.
Because he was the Michael Jordan of racing.
Every race.
He was so fast that he would lap everybody, come up to lap his teammate, and they would have to tell him, do not lap your teammate.
Why? What happens if you lap your teammate?
Because it just looks bad.
It just looks bad.
It looks bad when a Ferrari's passing another Ferrari on the track. So they would say, don't pass your teammate. And then he would just create a little gap and let him go.
Did he actually listen? Mm-hmm. Oh, I lost some respect for him.
He was a team player.
Fuck that.
But he
he
Ferrari also
understood
made
the
it clear.
optics.
Well, I have a problem with Ferrari in the first place.
Look, if it would have meant that him not winning a race, then Ferrari would have said, you're gonna pass him. But as long as it didn't sacrifice a position, yeah. Why do it?
I don't want to slow down. If I'm in go mode, I gotta go.
Well,
Don't pass your teammate. What? It's time to let me by. Don't want a Ferrari passing a Ferrari. Fuck Ferrari.
It's all optics.
wow.
They're fuck them. I almost got hit by a Ferrari going to work the other day. The Ferrari SUV just kept coming over my lane, and I was like, "You can hit me if you want to. I'm in the Honda. Go ahead."
You're driving a car that's a lot more than I am.
Crash that
I got a
motherfucker into me.
webcam to. I got a view cam to say I was in my lane, motherfucker.
Yeah, hit me, please. I'd like to see what the inside of your car looks like. So
It
this
probably looks like John.
you're looking around like, so this is what my new ride's going to look like. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, what does he have? He has an SUV. But it has a Ferrari engine, but it's
Maserati.
Not a Maserati. Yeah, he's got a Maserati SUV.
Yeah, somebody who got into the stock market early.
Well, he really got into crypto early.
Oh, he don't fool with none of that though. He gets dividends from
What's the time?
all of his other stuff.
I said his last name.
Yep.
Oh, 36?
It's right before that.
It's fine. I'll find it.
But what the funny part about that is he was taking all the tips from his brother. Apparently,
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of what he was doing, but apparently it's a joint effort, and I think his brother had more to do with it than he did.
So we went on a long rant about Formula One. What other racing series do we like?
Used to like NASCAR. Mm-hmm. Now I don't recognize 90% of the fucking drivers.
I like we talked about, like I just can't watch it on TV.
I used to
And it
watch
keep me.
I used to watch every single race.
I feel like all
it
the
didn't matter.
drivers now are like Cole Trickle from Days of Thunder. Nobody wants to really be a racing car driver. They just want to be famous.
Yeah.
And that's a vehicle for,
Yeah.
getting famous.
So
that's the thing
what
that I
moved you
love
away
about
from it that you can't watch it all the time now?
Well, I think I just kind of fell out of it when my favorite driver, Jimmy Johnson, retired. Like, I just didn't want to watch it anymore.
The guy that kept winning championships?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan of NASCAR
NASCAR.
racing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Jeff Gordon might argue that point.
Just seems like more and more.
I'm sure that he
tracks.
would argue that,
And,
but he would still be Scottie Pippen.
And Richard Petty probably would argue that point.
He would still be
No, he wouldn't.
Bill Cartwright.
I just don't enjoy the pack racing.
Yeah.
Is off like I already know Daytona is a pack race.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
love
know
that.
I know Talladega is a pack race.
Yeah.
Love that.
They should make it maybe way more interesting by removing the restrictor plates.
But like now Atlanta, they're just racing a pack. Like there's all these tracks that used to not be pack racing where it just seems like now they're just bunched up
Yeah.
and they go
'cause they-
lap after lap after
they
lap.
go
Because they go
Faster.
faster that way.
Yeah.
And where IndyCar will race on an oval, but they're passing, like they're
Yeah.
racing the whole time. Like there's no pack.
Yeah.
But when you get the races that you mentioned nobody watches that for the race. They watch it for the wreck.
For the wreck. Because there's going to
That's
be
it.
a big ass wreck every single one of those races.
Yeah, Talladega hitting 210 miles per hour in a group. Like it's aggravating going to work doing 40 when everybody gets together and it's just like, why don't you just move over? I'm faster. But no, you got a bump draft.
I say take the restrictor plates away and leave it up to the drivers. It's up to you to figure out how fast you can go on that super speedway.
Before
Yeah.
you
Let 'em
sling
go at
that
it.
thing off the track.
Yeah.
Shoot it up into the air 500 feet.
Now then it goes into the stands and then it looks really bad.
That is
Yeah,
a
'cause
risk
there's
you
been-
take when you go to the track.
That's it.
As a fan.
That's very true.
When you buy this ticket,
Unless
you may be crushed.
Unless you do like what we did the last few times as we got to the
box.
box seats and we were up there.
Oh, you were with the people who talk like this.
We
Yeah,
were the
that's
people that
exactly.
talked like
yes,
that.
we
Eating a
were
lot of-
with the people who talked like
Eating
that.
a lot of cake.
They asked us to
go with their
leave more than once.
champagne.
No, they didn't. Never asked us to leave.
Thanks, Dad, for affording that for us when we were young.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun because we had pit passes and everything too. So we got to go see the pits and got to see Jimmy's car while it was going through inspection and shit like that before the race. So that was really cool.
Yeah, and I'm all, in person, I love it.
Yeah, it's an amazing experience in person for sure.
Yep, different in person. I
Yeah.
I struggle watching it on TV.
Yeah. Well, that was when I was like fully vested and like I knew every single driver. I knew how they drove. I knew like everything about it. I knew everything about how the cars worked. And so I was like super, super invested for like the time that Jimmy Johnson was there. And then after he left, I was just like, I don't really know any of these new cats and I don't like any of them. So I just sort of fell off of it.
I watched Daytona and a couple of races this year. But I'm with you. I don't know any of the drivers. You know, it's a whole different field. Yeah, so I just haven't not enjoyed NASCAR this year.
Yeah. And then it was sad when I heard, I think, was it Clint Boyer?
Mm-hmm.
Him and his family died in a plane crash not too long ago, a couple months ago.
Greg Biffle.
Greg Biffle, that's
Greg
who
Biffle,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like,
Were you a Tony Stewart fan?
Sometimes. I was not a Tony Stewart fan when he was an asshole and decided to punch people.
Hey, that's racing.
It is.
Were you a Danica Patrick fan?
I knew he was going to bring it up.
I was a fan.
That whiny little bitch.
I was only a fan her like first season.
And then you
after-
realize that she blames everybody when things don't go well?
Pretty much, yeah. And then I was like, you're just making women look bad. I was super proud of her that she made it into the sport to begin with, because it is a good old boys sport.
Yeah.
You know, you got to know people to get into it, basically. And so I was like, cool, she made it. And then she just acted like a baby. And then I was like, this is just
The thing that annoyed me about her was not that she was in NASCAR and she raced in Indy. It's that the amount of attention that she got for being a very average driver.
Yes.
I mean, she was just a journeyman driver, middle of the pack.
She was never anything outstanding that you would think, like even in her qualifying laps, you were sort of like, are you going to actually like try to qualify for a spot up in the top 10 or something?
Well, maybe that's the only saving grace about this year's Formula One series is that they don't have her on any of the races now.
Yeah, I'm glad they cut her away from the... But she'll be at the Indy 500. They always have her on the Indy 500, so...
But no, I liked the NASCAR races, and I always loved the really short tracks like Martinsville,
Bristol.
and Bristol. Those were really fun to watch.
Because they're bumper cars.
Yeah.
I do want to watch Bristol in person.
Oh, that would be super dope to see it in person.
But if I would go in person, I would go to all of them. The truck race,
Yeah.
you know, all
Yeah.
the junior leagues. So
Yeah.
Was Bristol the paperclip or the oval?
it's
It's
like
a
the small oval. yeah.
Martinsville is the
Martinsville's
paperclip.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Bristol's the one where they do.
Martinsville's the one where the guy said, I'm putting my foot down and I'll see God or the checkered flag, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then NASCAR came out with a rule afterward that says you can't do that anymore.
What happens if the brake, if the gas pedal gets stuck?
I mean,
couldn't
there's
control
some
that.
good wrecks in those races too, because they're just, I mean, they're crammed in there.
The only reason those races are fun is because you can get beat up and still finish the race.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Aerodynamics not really a big deal on those
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Not like when you wreck in Daytona or Talladega, where it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
you're
you
done.
could die.
the funny thing is I saw Dale Earnhardt Jr. That was my guy back in the day because I was gifted him because I was like, I don't know anything. My in-laws got me interested in it. They're just like, we just chose Dale Earnhardt Jr. for you because he sounds white trash just like you. It's like, okay, I'll get on board with that. That's fine. I don't mind it.
I see that. That's good.
Well, I saw him.
And I was always a Jeff Gordon fan.
My parents
didn't
were
mi-
Jeff Gordon fans. I didn't mind Jeff Gordon
I didn't
at all.
mind Jeff Gordon either. I didn't mind Jimmy Johnson either, but it's the
Well, Jeff Gordon was really good for the sport when he came in because he attracted
young
a
viewers.
lot of people that probably never would have watched NASCAR.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah.
But anyway, I saw Dale Jr. on a podcast, and they were like, and the only reason that he made headlines because you think Dale Earnhardt Jr., you know, really nice guy, and that's the way he always was portrayed. He was dropping repetitive F-bombs.
Yeah,
Fuck that, fuck this shit, fuck motherfucker, fuck. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, all right, you don't hear him do that a lot because he was always reserved. And I think he's like the Tim Tebow of NASCAR racing.
Ooh, wow, that's kind of a rude
No.
comparison.
Is it really? How well did Tim Tebow play in college?
Very well.
Yeah, but he got
Fucking owned it. No, you can hold your retort.
He
No,
played
hold
for
your
a really,
retort.
really
Hold your
good
retort.
football
Hold
team.
your retort. Hold your retort. Listen, Tim Tebow was a phenomenal college football player. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was a phenomenal whatever
Nascar driver.
whatever the one down was.
Oh,
Whatever the one down was.
Was it the Bush series?
the
or
Yeah,
Bush
that's
whatever?
series.
it.
He
Yeah.
killed it in that.
Now it's
Now
something
Tim
else.
Tebow in the NFL could play and did play. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the NASCAR series, he did race.
I can see your analogy and your comparison.
He didn't win anything,
Yeah.
but he won a couple of races.
Yeah.
Just like Tim Tebow won a few games.
Yeah.
Not shitting on either one of them because they still were great.
Just the caliber.
It's just that
Yeah.
he wasn't quite there, and I think Dale Jr. some capacity lived under his father's shadow
Oh, there's no question
and
about
just
that.
couldn't figure out how to
Make his own
to
way.
get out of it kind
Yeah,
of thing. And it
make
was
his
just
own
like
way.
so. But now, what were we saying?
Well, I don't think that comparison is fair only because Tim Tebow had 10 other guys on the field helping him.
Okay, you're trying to analyze it. It's not an analytical type situation.
No,
it's just that Tim Tebow won in college, didn't do it in the NFL.
Yeah.
I just,
Now wait a minute, and if you want me to retort to yours, then it's not just the driver. There's the whole pit crew, the fucking watcher, the main guys, the spotter. So there's everybody. So that's a
I
fair
understand
comparison.
all that, but when it boils down to it, it's the guy in the car with his hands on the wheel.
Same thing with Tim Tebow. It's the guy on the field with the ball in his hands. I'm only doing the same thing you were trying to do to me because it's still the same. It's a very comparable thing.
What was it like Maverick? It's going to come down to the pilot in the seat.
Nice reference. I love it.
Yeah.
And nobody mentions Tony Stewart.
Oh, I heard you say that when I was walking away. I liked Tony Stewart, regardless of the situation, up until he ran that kid over.
Yeah. And I know it wasn't on purpose, I hope, but
Like I said,
That kid ran out
I
onto the
know.
track and threw his helmet at Tony Stewart.
I know.
So
I know. I didn't.
you don't run out onto the track, man.
I agree.
You know,
Hey.
you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that shit out.
if you're going to run out onto the track where there's race cars racing, I mean,
It was so. Tony Stewart was
The
the
Darwinian process of evolution will handle up on that.
Tony Stewart was the closest thing to Dale Senior since
I agree.
Dale Senior.
Yes.
So that was
he was a dick racer. I will say that.
Dale Sr. was a dick racer.
Yeah, he was.
The irony is Dale Sr. died trying to help a friend of his do something that he had never done, win the Daytona
win the
500.
race. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was what was Waltrip Jr. What was it?
Yeah, Waltrip.
Was it
No,
Waltrip?
was it Michael Waltrip?
Yeah, Michael Waltrip.
Michael Waltrip?
Yep.
Is that what it was?
Because his brother was in the booth
Yeah.
commentating the race.
Daryl.
Yeah, that's right. That was Michael.
Actually, that crash was the one that mandated Hans devices.
That's right.
Haas,
It
Yeah.
was.
Hans devices.
Hans.
Hans,
Because Haas was the
They were optional up to that point, and then
Yeah. They were required.
and then every racing series
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, you know, you're wearing this."
Does he see the bunny?
I don't know. He just went potty.
Bentley, go lay down.
He just
But
murdered the duck.
I remember I was watching a NASCAR race, and the announcers were fucking being brutal on Tony Stewart because he couldn't. He was in second place, and he kept chasing the leader, and the leader was the Snickers car, and he said something to the effect. Well, you know, Tony's just trying to catch up with that Snickers car because he's hungry. He's hangry. And this was a time when Tony Stewart was a lot bigger than he is now.
Yeah. He got a lot of flack for being a bigger guy.
Chunky.
Yeah, a little chunky.
Yeah, but NASCAR weighs the car
boned.
and the driver together, so they'll just like, oh, well, we'll just take out some weight here and
Yeah.
we're good to go.
They're good.
It's okay, Tony. You gain another 5 pounds, we'll take out 5 pounds of weight on the car.
Oh, that brings up a MMA, a UFC fight thing. Weigh as much as you can up until race day or when they weigh the card and just lose it so we can be like, oh, we got 10 pounds to play with.
Well,
There's some
that was
extra
one of
shit
the
in there.
reasons that they said that Danica Patrick was better in Indy because at least at the time that she was racing, they did not weigh the car with the driver in it. The car weight was the car weight. So if you put a driver in there weighed 160 pounds and a driver in there that weighed 115 pounds, the car with the 115-pound driver has a huge advantage.
I think that's the way it ought to be.
Well,
That way the cars are the same. And then you can do whatever. Look, they want the cars to be, which I don't understand why whoever owns the race just doesn't say, we'll make the cars, you buy them from us. And they all just be identical.
because that's
And then
boring racing.
I mean, that's what. I mean, they're wanting.
I mean, we have a series like that in the United States.
Which is?
Can-Am series.
So the people who do it make the car and give them to the folks, and
Yeah,
then
they say
race?
this is the car. It's a standardized car. You're driving this car. Yes.
I kind of want to watch one now.
Well,
It'd be like horse racing because you want the smallest guy, smallest jockey on the biggest horse.
now here's the thing: you can make changes to the car. You know, depending on
like camber,
all that kind of things.
Yeah,
but
toe
the
in.
engine, the drivetrain, the body, the chassis, all that stuff is manufactured to the same standard for everybody.
But see, that's where NASCAR was trying to get to.
Mm-hmm.
That's what NASCAR was. That's what they were trying to get to, and they were just trying to say, because we want the smaller people, or we want somebody to be able to make a team and come up and race competitively, not get up
Which
there,
is silly
blow all
because
their
it's
money,
still,
and
hundreds of millions of dollars to field a NASCAR team. I mean, it is.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can afford to try to dip your toe into it, they don't want you to be uncompetitive for years.
I know that was the whole thing they tried to do when the France family bought out Dr. Panot's for endurance racing in the United States, and they brought in the stupid fucking Daytona prototypes because they said, well, we're going to have 4 chassis manufacturers and 6 engine manufacturers, and you have to pick one of those manufacturers, and that's the car you're going to drive. It's like, seriously? I don't like that kind of racing. I think you ought to come out with a set of rules that say the car can weigh this much. It can't make this over this much horsepower. It has to be this length. It has to be this. It can't be any longer than this. Can't be any wider than this. Yada, yada. And then say, go to town, boys. Give me the fastest car you can get.
But then it does make it strictly money.
So it's not a cheap sport no matter how you do it. It's like we were talking about with Formula One, and there's silliness with the fuel thing. There's no way to have cheap racing. It's not possible unless you want to drive go-karts.
And even that's not cheap.
Even they're not cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Even those aren't cheap.
I just saw one on Instagram the other day, and it was a $15,000.
Yeah.
But
compared to
it had a wing,
compared
and it
to
did have slicks.
You know,
And I
what
was
do you
like,
think
oh,
a
God.
Formula One car cost, Joe? $50 million, $60 million?
Oh, I think even more than that.
When you factor in all the R&D?
Well, what's our
Yeah.
producer gonna say? Only thing
I
was
don't
a
know
weight
that.
dis- I'm sure you can find an average. Just Google that, and it'll be like the average race car after everything is said and done.
AI will take care of that for you.
15 to 20 million.
There you go.
The engine and hybrid system, most expensive component at over $10 million.
Wow. The shitty engines that can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
$700,000 for the carbon fiber chassis. Get this. What would you think the steering wheel cost?
It's like a little
shit.
It's like a little remote control.
20 grand.
Yeah.
Keep going.
100.
$50,000
Yeah.
for the steering wheel. Why do you think the FAA penalizes them? If they get into a crash and they yank the steering wheel off, because you can't get out of the car without the steering wheel being out.
Yeah.
And they just throw it away.
They penalize. All right. No. Don't.
Well, and here's the
you know,
thing.
don't tell me some of those little tidbits because that's gonna just.
telemetry data is stored in the wheel.
Two reasons. Drivers would crash in the gravel. They would take the steering wheel and they would chuck it. Well, then the crew would come to move the car, but now they can't steer the car. So they made it a rule that the driver has to reinstall the steering wheel before they leave the scene.
Oh God. And the other one was the information stored in the wheel.
Yep.
Yeah, telemetry data is stored in the wheel. It's a computer.
I know. What is-
You know, Bristol's this weekend. Maybe I'll watch
Oh,
Bristol.
is it this weekend? Okay. Well, maybe I'll watch it this weekend too.
There's no other racing this weekend now that, the F1 racing got canceled. IndyCar's got a few week break.
Oh, and that was the other thing I was going to say about the Dale Earnhardt interview that I watched. He was like, I hated finishing a race, and there wasn't rub marks on every part of my fucking car. He's like, I wanted to fucking beat and bang, and he's like, and that's the reason when NASCAR changed. He's like, it just didn't make it fun anymore because as soon as you damaged one panel, aerodynamics was screwed up. Nothing fucking worked right.
Yep.
And it
Actually,
just made
there's a
it
funny story
fucking
about
boring.
that, about Senior and that. When Jeff Gordon was winning his first Daytona 500, because I guess that car gets put into a museum for a year until the next Daytona 500 winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jeff Gordon had gone through the race and his car was pristine. He hadn't had any contact with anybody. And Senior said, well, there was no way I could pass him, but he let it all rung out and he got up close enough and he just drifted over into him and put a big tire mark on the side of the car because he said, I didn't want that car to sit in that museum looking perfect for a year.
Did Dale Sr. own that car? Was he the team?
No. Jeff Gordon raced for
What's that guy's name?
oh God.
Hendricks.
Hendricks
Hendricks,
Motorsports,
yeah, Hendricks.
yes. But I mean that was Senior in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If I would have been interested in racing back there, that would have been my guy for sure.
Man, when they had Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr., and who was it? Kyle. What was his name?
Kyle Busch.
Kyle. No.
Petty.
No. Was it Kyle?
I forgot.
Who was the
it
fourth guy?
I don't know. I forgot.
Starts with a K.
I remember.
But anyway, when they had
group,
when they had that group, it was just that Hendricks Motorsports just was phenomenal. They were just untouchable.
Yeah.
They had everything dialed in.
He should have gotten into Formula One then.
I think Formula One guys think NASCAR guys are crazy.
Well, they brought in Jeff Gordon, and
He thinks
do you
they're
remember
crazy.
Who they traded places, him and a Formula One driver.
And they both think the other people are crazy.
Was it Montoya?
Probably.
I think it was
might
Juan
have
Pablo
been
Montoya.
It might have been JP.
He looks so funny doing the commentating, and he's wearing like Jenkos.
Jinkos. Like, dude, are you fucking serious? Like, you're
He's
60
like
years
60
old.
years
Take that
old or
shit
something.
off.
Yeah.
Both of them said,
Put on some slacks.
"You guys are nuts."
Yeah.
Well, I remember when Jeff Gordon did that because, he drove and then he got to the corner and then he slowed way down. And then the F1 car drove off the track. And they said, no, you have to drive it fast.
Yes.
So that the front wing will hold the car down. So in order for you to turn, you have to be going at speed.
Yeah.
And then he said, okay, the next lap. That's what he did. He just pulled through it and just zailed on, so.
I think Jimmy Johnson went and raced Indy, I think, after he retired from NASCAR for a
Yeah,
couple
he did.
seasons.
Yeah, he did for a little bit. I don't know that he did any good.
He
but-
wasn't
know.
as successful
Yeah,
as
I
he
didn't-
was.
I didn't think he was.
Man, now you got me thinking about go-kart racing.
You don't need another hobby.
After seeing that one on Instagram with the flat tires. I forget why is it breaking out. What's the word I'm looking for?
Slicks.
The slick tires and the wing and everything, and it was like I let the UPS guy drive my $15,000 go-kart.
So the World Karting Association has these lay-down carts. And I went to Road Atlanta and watched them run out there.
What do you mean? Do you mean
Were they 250s or 500s?
I think there were 500s laying
Is
on
it
they're
literally
laying on their
lay-downs?
backs.
Yeah.
And I remember when
Like
they
how a
started,
Formula One driver is.
yeah?
they're faster than a lot of the race cars. And it was like watching slot cars. Like they were just flying. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And that was one of my best weekends for 2 days was watching go-karts.
And was there a place to go drive the go-karts?
Not there, no.
Oh man.
Well, the thing you got to remember, like a lot of people compare them to motorcycles, but they turn much faster lap times than motorcycles around racetracks because motorcycles have tiny tire patches, right?
Yeah.
But a go-kart has 4 tires on the wheel with equally as large tire patch, if not higher. So they pull,
I'll take 4 over 2 any day of the week.
Well, and they pull G's just like a Formula One car. That's why almost no drivers in Formula One come from the United States because we do not have a big karting program here in the United States like they do in Europe.
Yeah, if you're not driving go-karts at the age of 3,
Well, I mean,
you're not going to be an F1.
It's just like soccer players.
Yeah.
Excuse
Look
me.
at Scott Speed. Such a disappointment.
I don't know who that is.
He was an American Formula One driver. He lasted, 2 seasons?
Did he do any good?
No, he was terrible.
So I did not know this about Scott Speed, and I just saw it the other day that in Germany he ran a race, and they told him he ended up hydroplaning off the track into the gravel, and like 6 or 7 other cars did too at the same time because it was raining pretty heavy down there at turn 1, and they gave him a hard time for not being able to get out of the gravel, and he ended up telling the owner of the team to F off.
And he lost his job.
and he lost his job.
Oh my God.
But I didn't know that's why he lost the job. All we knew was the next race
He wasn't there.
gone.
he was gone, and someone else had taken his spot. And apparently he told him to F off, and that was it. And he's like, yeah, I guess you can't tell the owner of the team how you really feel. And I was like, there it is.
Actually, yeah, he raced for Scuderia Toro Rosso in 2006. He started.
Yep.
He ran 28 races, and he was replaced halfway through the 2007 season by Sebastian Vettel.
Yep.
I mean, if you got to be replaced by somebody, Seb's a pretty good guy to get replaced by.
Was that guy any good?
Oh, yeah, Seb was
Very good.
outstanding.
No.
Yeah, he won 4 championships in a row. He was the first championship winner for Red Bull.
Is
Now-
this F1?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now he looks like a guy that ought to be wearing Birkenstocks and eating lots of granola.
I just bought a pair of Birkenstocks.
If you were to see his picture now, you would 100% agree.
Can I see a picture of that, please? Because I don't understand what that reference. I don't know what that means.
That's Sebastian Vettel now.
And he's supposed to be eating granola and wearing Birkenstocks?
He doesn't look like some hippie from Portland, Oregon.
No, because he doesn't have a flannel on.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair
If you
point.
put a flannel on him, wouldn't he look like a hippie from Portland, Oregon?
Yeah, maybe.
No, Vettel was good. He was always fun to watch too, because he would push his teammates. He would fight for those victories.
He'd bump draft.
He'd crash. There was a couple races he just like side to side with his teammate's car and bust it all up, and he'd fight hard.
Yeah, see, like the very first part of his article in Wikipedia is talking about him in karting. And that's, you won't be in Formula One unless you're in karting. That's just the way, long and the short of it.
Let's go to the go-kart track.
There's one in New Orleans, but
There's one in Gulfport.
I have a rule about going to New Orleans,
Yeah, we don't do it unless we're going to work.
getting paid.
So let's go to Gulfport.
Is there one in Gulfport?
Yeah.
We could go to a minor league baseball game the same day. The Biloxi Shuckers.
Or you could just buy yourself a racing sim.
Well, there is that.
That's not as fun.
It sure is fun.
No, it's not.
I have one. I love it.
I want to feel the track. I got to feel the track. Just asked her, like, whenever we went to Missouri, got new tires. They had great ratings for rain, which is all I wanted on the truck because it's a truck, ass ends is kind of light. It also had pretty good snow traction. It's like, cool. I don't know how they're going to do until I feel the snow. And I had to get up there, and I drove off in the snow and was like, let's see what these bitches do, because I need to feel it. Because when it starts to give, if you're on a racing sim and you're not, I'm assuming you don't have a $15,000 racing sim set up that vibrates and bumps and on hydraulics and shit like that.
Sorry to say I don't. But if my wife's going to listen to this,
That would be
It's
that would be a great Christmas
idea.
present.
this would be a great Christmas present.
There you go, girl. That's the only thing. So what you're saying is that's going to be the only thing to prevent the next podcast about being fucking your wife is a racing car sim with hydraulics and the whole surround. That's the only thing that's going to prevent
That's
it.
going to do it.
Okay. All right. So you hear that, girl? That's what it's going to take. He needs the racing sim with the hydraulics.
I can't wait till she listens to this. I don't even
Sorry.
think I'm not even going to tell her that this was the conversation.
You're just going to let her come into it cold?
She's going to be like, what the fuck?
Come into it blind.
It wasn't my idea.
It's like, yeah, I got to feel the car. I got to feel when the speed, when it starts to slip. Because I used to do that too. Now, granted, it was a long time ago, like on PlayStation, you bought the steering wheel and the pedals, and like that's all that it was. And obviously, they have come a long way since then. But without being able to feel it, it's just,
I'm with you.
do
I'm
it.
with you there.
I just can't do it. I mean, maybe there was a pimp sim like that. If you get one, I'm going to come see you up in
You're always
the
welcome.
Great Lakes.
Always welcome.
Only in summer, though.
So did you get new tires, though, on the truck and then drive it all the way north to find snow just because you got the snow
Oh,
tires?
no. What did we go up there for? Was that,
It was
that was
for-
retirement.
Yeah, Ross
Yeah, it was retirement.
Ah, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
But like I said,
Y'all took the truck up there?
Yeah,
yeah.
because we knew it was going to be snowing.
Had to test the tires.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Because
Yeah.
when he retired,
And
it was
your
like
truck's all-wheel drive.
it was
Yeah.
February,
All right.
some shit when he
it's
retired.
cold.
It was cold.
It's cold. So I found snow and was like,
And
can
that's
I give
why
it a
I
little
passed
more?
on that GS12 job in St. Louis.
Ugh. St. Louis sounds awful. Sorry.
There was one that came open, and I felt certain if I applied for it, I could probably get it. But
When was this?
a couple of years ago,
Did you actually entertain the idea?
for about 5 seconds.
No. That's about 4 seconds too long.
I would have entertained it more if I hadn't like just recently bought a house.
Really?
Yeah, if I was still living in an apartment, what the hell?
It's St. Louis.
I got a good friend of mine that lives up about an hour and a half from St. Louis, so
Yeah, but you'd be in St. Louis.
I wouldn't live in St. Louis. I'd live in East St. Louis.
I'd live in the other state.
No, I wouldn't live in East St. Louis. East St. Louis is. Well, you better go strapped everywhere you go.
Yeah, I'm not shitting on Missouri, but man, St. Louis doesn't have a good rep.
So we covered Formula One, talked about NASCAR,
Rally racing.
rally. What do we feel about rally?
Oh, God, I love rally. That is the one sport that every other discipline agrees they're insane. They're insane.
I kind of want to watch one now.
You've never watched rally?
Not really. I've seen clips of it, but I kind of want to watch one.
Oh, man, you should go back and watch. So there was a series back in, was it the 80s or 90s called Group B, which basically Rally came out and said, we're going to take away all the rules. You can build whatever you want. And they built some insane cars. Audi Quattro, like 800 horsepower all-wheel drive.
Ooh, I'd take that. Is that street legal?
It started as a street legal car, yeah.
No. I want the 800 all-wheel drive.
I think Ken Block's daughter built one back before he passed away that was like a 500 horsepower one or something. All-wheel drive.
Bentley, get down.
He's just trying to be friendly.
You should see the carnage over here.
Rally impresses me though because I'm a visual learner, and you have to be listening to your, the co-driver in there, giving those commands, and they're speaking so fast about gears and what type of turn you have coming up. I'd be like 5 or 6 commands in and be lost. And I am so impressed that they can just pick it up that fast and know what to do in that car.
Well, apparently they don't always get it because I was watching some crashes in rally this morning and they were like, guys would come into turns and just totally miss the turn coming in way too hot and crash right through stuff. And I'm like, okay, you didn't hear what that driver said. The co-driver said, did you?
Yeah, I was going to say, I couldn't be the driver, but I could be the guy ranting stuff off. Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
I think being the driver would be simpler.
I'd be scared to lose my spot. We're calling it out. Like, what you lose it once, you're
Oh,
screwed.
no, you're right about that,
huh?
Yeah, left turn, third gear, and he turns right. Oh, shit.
I mean,
So I was talking to my buddy Brad before this, and I was like, oh, you got the podcast. He's like, what's the topic? And I was like, auto racing. He's like, man, you know what my favorite racing is? And he said the circuit, so I forget what the fuck it was, but drift racing.
Oh, that's not that popular in the United States. It's mostly Japan. Yeah.
Did you ever watched it?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not really about racing so much as it is
Drifting.
about scoring points on.
Yeah, but still, they do it. And then I saw, I guess y'all know the fucking Red Bull guys do
Everything.
the dumbest.
Yep.
The dumbest shit.
Yeah.
The world's most dangerous not track. I don't want to use track's not the right word, but whatever it is, drifting thing. And it's like the California mountain that's double back and does all this weird shit and comes around. And I was like, fuck that. I ain't doing none of that.
I saw something. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on just a minute.
Yeah, I think there's skill to it to be able to hold a car and drift like that. Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Is it the most entertaining racing form? For me, no.
Okay.
Unless your favorite movie is Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
In 2017, BMW set a Guinness World Record for longest continuous vehicle drift covering 232.5 miles.
Yeah, what is it? 30.
8 hours at the BMW Performance Center in South Carolina.
Yeah.
They refueled the car while it was
yeah,
drifting.
I saw that recently. What kind of tires, though?
That's a good question. You'd think they would be gone by the time 232 miles was gone.
Yeah, I mean,
They must have been really hard compound.
actually look that up because that doesn't make any sense. How can you drift for 8 hours and the tires not melt?
I don't know.
I don't think they were going at a super fast speed.
Maybe,
It
that's,
was-
maybe
it was-
that's what it
It
is.
was literally just a small circle.
So not
that they
enough
were
to just to heat them up, but not actually break them down.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
5 fuel transfers during the event.
Another car drifting alongside, but that would be just the refueling. That's all I want to see.
Oh, it took place on a wet skid pad.
Oh, boo.
That's cheating.
Oh, boo. No, that's not.
So then you wouldn't be going through tires that much then.
Yeah, boo.
Yeah.
Who did that? Mercedes?
BMW.
Fuck y'all. Y'all cheated. Guinness shouldn't even put that in there. Oh, Guinness. Check it out. I got a Guinness.
Way to work that in.
Yeah, I know.
Are we done talking about racing now?
No.
Oh,
What you got?
We got more.
We didn't talk
Do we?
about the one racing series that we all love.
What's that? Indy?
No, Formula E.
Oh, God.
All 100% electric.
oh, so even worse
Boogie,
than
woogie, woogie.
They are the most awful sounding race cars because it's all electric.
They don't, when they have a pit stop, they change cars.
what?
They get out of one car and get into another one.
Because the battery's dead.
And I think even now, the series now, I don't even
What?
think they pit the car. They don't get out of the car, but they can only run for like 40 minutes. And then if there's something that happens on the track and they have to have a safety car, it reduces the amount of time they can race. It is the most god awful race to watch.
what the hell?
On TV.
And it's still going? Because that doesn't sound like that's going to make money.
Still going.
What the hell?
There's probably a money loser for Formula One, but they sponsor it. It's just like the WNBA.
But I think you get a lot of sponsorships for Formula E from all of the climate
like the
organizations
yeah,
that are like,
yeah.
oh, this is what we support, you know.
But,
That's
you know,
that's the
and the
equivalent.
Tesla folks.
That's the equivalent of Ford making an all electric truck. They were like, it's great. It gets 400 miles.
until you try and tow
And
something.
yeah, until you throw the boat on the back and just like, I'm only going 20 minutes. And they're like, good, because it only lasts for 30. You better charge it while you're at the ramp. Worthless shit.
Well, that's like, okay, one of the things that I absolutely positively love, and the eco-terrorists killed it, was Pikes Peak. I always wanted to go and watch the Pikes Peak hill climb, right? Because originally, like, the first third of it was paved, and then everything then to the top was all gravel. So it required a lot of skill.
Yeah.
And a lot of people died on Pikes Peak because, as you can imagine, it's on the side of a mountain. And when you fail, the penalty for failure is very high. But all the eco-terrorists then said, no, the road's causing too much erosion. You have to pave it. And then they paved it. And then Volkswagen came out with an all-electric car and crushed all of the records prior to it. And all I could think was, dude, if it was still gravel, you would have never won that record. Because the one advantage to an electric car is it has instant torque. So when you come out of a turn, you put down power and it goes right away. But you can't do that on a gravel surface because you'll just slide around. So, yeah, thanks a lot, all you fucking tree huggers. You killed Pikes Peak.
How do you really feel?
I'm holding back with that. Don't tempt me. Don't go there. So yeah, that's how I really feel. And we haven't talked about World Endurance Racing. The 24 Hours of Le Mans is coming up.
It is.
When is that?
Talk about it.
I think it's July 4th weekend, right?
It might be the 4th. We're going to have to look
You
it
know,
up.
if only I could look it up.
See, it's a little bit harder than they thought, huh?
What?
Can't wait for you to see this car.
You know you're barely over an hour, right?
Fantastic. How long do we have to go for?
Well,
We're not
the
done
challenge
yet.
was an hour.
I still got.
Do you not know who you're talking to? We used to talk about this for 12 hours at a time. We can go all
June 10th
Yeah.
is the 24 hours. But what is it? Is it Memorial Day weekend? Is the Indy 500?
And then usually Monaco. Yep.
And the
Monaco.
Coca-Cola 600,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
so,
you have drivers that try to do both.
the 600 and the 500.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely going to watch Monaco. I can't wait for that one.
I can't believe you're saying that.
Sense the tone.
She's never seen it.
I
She has no frame of reference.
I have never actually seen it, so I actually probably will watch it just so I can say, okay, that was the worst race I've ever seen in my life.
And the thing about it is Formula One tried to say, oh, well, we're going to mandate, because now there's a mandate. You have to stop 2 times during Monaco. Because they could drive that, they could put on mediums probably and never have to stop that race.
Yeah.
Because the car, actually, that's a really slow race as races go.
Like, what would be their average speed
Ooh, that's a good question.
at Monaco?
We can find out.
Because I do remember seeing like clips of it or whatever certain times, and I do recall that like the streets are super narrow.
There are spots that you can go really fast, but there's just no room.
The
There's
tunnel.
no room to like you can't have 2 cars next to each other at all. Like in any
There's
way.
a couple spots coming out of the tunnel.
That's
But-
the only place you could ostensibly try and
Yeah.
pass, but it doesn't work even there.
So it's got to be timed absolutely perfectly.
no, nobody passes at Monaco.
That's just dumb.
It's
The last people that tried it, they always try it coming out of the tunnel. They always crash.
the only races at Monaco that make it interesting at all is when rain comes into play.
Yep.
And you don't want too much rain,
Sure.
just enough though to where somebody goes, okay, I'm going to pit now, go to the intermediate and try, have more control. Everybody else is sliding around. Or when it starts to sprinkle and then it stops. The first driver who goes, I'm going to put on those slick tires.
Yeah.
And then if he's effective with it,
Everyone
then-
else.
then
does the
generally it pans out and there's a different winner. But
So
Yeah.
what would you think the average speed of Monaco is?
160 miles an hour.
93 to 103.
Oh my God.
When you watch the race for the first time,
Well,
you'll
it'll be
understand
interesting
why.
to see how these electric engines now work when you're only going that speed, right?
Well, there are a bunch of really, really sharp turns. Really sharp turns.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can't even fit 2 cars next to one another in it.
I mean, the good news
One at the
for
swimming pool.
for these new the whole hybrid model, Monaco will work very well for them because they're
Is
going to
that-
be going.
Monica.
Is that the sweet spot that they need to be in to charge?
Yeah, they're going at the slower speed. And there's a lot more corners and turns that they're going very slow. They'll probably get more of a charge, so then they're not worried about. On the other hand, you're only going to have one spot maybe on the front stretch to try to pass and use that boost button. But I don't know if you have enough room
I don't think
to
so.
effectively be able to
I
pull
think
that
the
off.
tunnel is probably a better spot to try and pass. And that's the thing. Everybody's going to be, if you're neck and neck with somebody, everybody's going to be saving power for the tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this year the Monaco Grand Prix will be more entertaining.
I bet you want to put a wager on that?
No.
Well, you
Yeah,
won't be
that's what I
watching it.
thought.
You don't have Apple TV unless you come over here and watch
That's
it.
true.
I might.
It's like, I'll come over for that race.
I'll come over and get drunk and laugh at it.
All right.
So, you know.
Is it at night? Is it like at midnight?
Nope. No, it's a daytime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the-
for us, it should be
I think it's like 8 in the morning
yeah,
around.
something like that.
Yeah, because you'll watch that one in the morning. Indy will be at noon, 1 o'clock, and then that night you'll have the Coca-Cola 600.
It's a champagne brunch. You have a champagne brunch for Monaco.
Oh, let's do that. We can have mimosas and do like a brunch. Make some
Creme brulee pan Perdue.
eggs and bacon.
If I'm still here for it, maybe I'll just come over.
There you
You
go.
should. Yeah.
I might be PCSing here, so
Might as well.
the rate we're going.
All right.
At the rate we're going.
I mean,
So there's one
it's in
discipline
June.
we haven't discussed at all.
All right.
Top Fuel. Dragsters. funny cars. Nobody's a fan.
I don't even know what that means.
I've been to a couple of races, but man,
So
not saying it's not entertaining. And like if I happen to, somebody was like, "Hey, you want to go to the strip? You know, we're drag racing, doing this, that, and the other." Sure, but I've never
I
looked it up.
respect it just for the physics involved in it. A top fuel dragster and funny car makes between 7,000 and 10,000 horsepower. Think about that for a minute. 7,000 horsepower.
And the car is only going to last 2 races.
Oh no, they rebuild the engine after every race, every single race. But here's a statistic that is very terrifying in my mind. If you had a plane flying 200 miles an hour and a top fuel dragster launched at the same time that the plane crossed the start line, the top fuel dragster would beat them to the quarter mile.
Do they go faster than 200 miles an hour?
Oh yeah, they're in excess of 300 now.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
But they only have to go from here to there.
Oh,
And they're worthless from after there.
Oh, I think the drag races where there's 2 guys and it's like a jet engine propulsion behind them.
I think maybe going to see it in person. Sure.
I want to
Yeah.
go to the Gator Nationals.
Yeah. On TV, no.
Yeah.
Since I don't go to Sebring anymore, I want to go to the Gator Nationals.
Yeah, of course. You don't want to watch that shit on TV. They're going to talk for 20 minutes.
And then they're going to race for 2 seconds.
Race over. All right, cool. What are we going to do for the next 20 minutes?
And that's listen to him talk about the next 2 people that are
Yes,
coming
that's
up.
gonna be,
Like
that's going to be
that.
it.
You know, it's been on TV. I mean, I do have ESPN 8, the Ocho,
The
in my
Ocho.
hotel. And
The Ocho.
They play a lot of cornhole on that.
Cornhole and
wiffle ball.
yeah, I was going to say and pickleball tournament.
I got that game in there we haven't played yet. The badminton-esque one.
Oh.
We got to go through the hole instead of over the net.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to talk about Indy at all?
I actually really like IndyCar. I'm going to the double race weekend in Milwaukee this year.
I actually, ever since they changed the cars and they made it so that they can't lock wheels and launch somebody into the air and have them killed, I like Indy a lot more now.
No, you didn't want to see people die?
Yeah, call me crazy. I didn't want to see people die. You know? So, and I think Indy's, it's an interesting series. My big problem with racing for the most part in the United States is that, you know, they're like, oh, wait, is that a raindrop? We got to stop.
We have to stop. Yeah.
It's a raindrop? No, we got to stop.
Yeah.
Really? Why don't you put on some fucking groove tires, assholes?
I do wish that we could develop a wet weather tire for oval racing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because whenever it goes into a rain delay or something, it's always like, because then they have to come out and dry the track. And
Well, and the funny part is, so back in the 90s, the United States had 2 open wheel series. They had Indy, and then they had kart.
Yep.
And, well, that movie, Rush, right?
Rush.
With that terrible movie with Sly Stallone.
Oh, Driven.
Driven, not Rush. I'm sorry, Driven, yes. That was based upon kart. He wanted apparently to do it about Formula One and what was Formula One principal's name? What was that guy's name? The asshole billionaire.
there's a lot
Bernie
of those.
Ecclestone.
Bernie Ecclestone. That's him. Thank you. Told Sly Stallone, Pound Sand, you can't have any information on Formula One. And so he did the next best thing he could and did it about kart. But even then he said, yeah, the movie was terrible. I shouldn't have made it. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Your cleanup was futile.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you know, but it's a racing movie, so of course I watched it.
Yeah, you enjoyed it at the time because that was all we really had.
I mean, I watched Days of Thunder. I enjoyed that.
That was a good one too. I think they're making a sequel to that one.
Just leave it alone.
Is Cole Trickle going to be in it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
He's
Are you
not.
being serious? Or you
I'm
fucking
dead
joking?
serious. After F1 success, I think Days of Thunder is being talked about.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how I feel about that. Is Nicole Kidman going to be in it?
No.
Good.
No.
Why? What you got against Nicole Kidman?
Wouldn't put anything on her or in her.
I don't know. I don't know why she wouldn't. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what her relationship is like, but she's divorced now, so it doesn't matter.
Well, and she's divorced from Tom Cruise, so I don't see her doing a movie with them. And
I don't see them. No, probably not. But it could just be like on F1 where there's really no specific
It's
love
in the
interest.
script development phase.
Like Days of Thunder was. Yeah.
I don't just make this stuff up.
Huh. God, I hope they don't have Tom Cruise driving.
You know what? Yeah, he's going to be. That's Maverick you're talking about.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want it's Maverick. He's not like 100 years old.
Actually, he is, and he's a douche. But yeah, it does look like even Jeff Gordon's involved.
Okay, so maybe you don't like him personally.
As a human being, maybe not, but as an actor, he's phenomenal. I love him.
Love him. Yep.
Yeah.
Maverick.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
As an actor, his movies
No.
are all hits.
His movies are awesome.
No.
His movies
He's
are awesome.
63 years old.
Maverick,
No. Okay. Here's,
Top Gun,
Mission Impossible.
all of the Mission Impossible movies.
You can name every movie Tom Cruise has ever did. Here's the problem that I have, and I've said this to everybody that has ever brought up Tom Cruise. Anytime you got a movie with him in it, it's a movie with Tom Cruise in it. That's it. It's never him becoming something else to where you don't remember Tom Cruise being in the movie. I'm going to reference the guy who's the guy that won all the fucking things, the awards, and only did a few movies and retired.
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis.
That guy transformed into something. Tom Hanks has
So you didn't.
Tom Hanks has also transformed into something else.
I see what you're saying there. So like
It's
when
a movie
Daniel
with-
Day-Lewis played dude on Nathaniel or whoever on Last of the Mohicans, you didn't say, "Oh, that's Daniel Day-Lewis."
You were like, "That's the."
You were
Mohican
like,
guy.
"That's Nathaniel,
Mohican guy."
the character in the show in the movie."
You always have. It's a movie with Tom Cruise. Of course it is, because he's going to be Tom Cruise.
Did you feel about that way about him in his role in Tropic Thunder?
Yeah, it was Tom Cruise because it was Tom Cruise in a fat suit. Like it didn't fucking matter. It's Tom Cruise in a fat suit. Hey, look, it's Tom Cruise in something. Great. So you're always going to get Tom Cruise. That's the reason. If you go back,
I still find them entertaining.
I'm not saying that he's not entertaining. I'm just saying that he's not a great actor. He can act, in my opinion. That's it. He can act. Sure.
He just has a genre that he sticks to.
Yeah, you really ruined this party. Thanks.
Seriously.
Let's go ahead and watch, the Art of Racing in the Rain now.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm putting it on.
That
Put it on.
That just escalated super quickly and just made
Yeah,
me
I'm not shitting on Tom Cruise
That's
and Tyler.
Joe's
That's just
feel
favorite
awesome.
movie, in case anybody wonders.
yeah, I can't. Tom Cruise.
He has strong feelings about it.
I hate that movie. Anyway,
You don't
I
really
digress.
hate that movie.
I do.
You hate how that movie makes you feel.
I hate feelings. I hate feeling things.
I got 2. 1 and 2.
Actually, it's a great movie, y'all. I encourage everyone to watch it.
Unless you like feeling things, then don't watch it.
Where are we at on the? It's got this big old list over there. Have you talked about everything?
Nope, that's the old list.
Well, that's the old
from-
list. This is a list for today.
I,
The only thing we haven't really we talked briefly about the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and the fact that the France has somehow made a deal with the sanctioning body for the 24 hours and let them race their crappy Daytona prototypes in it.
Yeah. You said France was involved, so I'm instantly out.
He's just a bag of negativeness over there.
I mean, look, it's the oldest endurance race in the world. So.
I guess on that note, we covered auto racing.
Yeah. Well, okay. He just doesn't want to be involved in anything.
We can't talk about the 500, the Baja 500 and the Paris to Dakar race.
Can if you want to.
DeCosse.
This is y'all's show.
I don't really have enough knowledge on it to cover that one.
Baja looks like it would be fun to watch.
I've watched a bunch of it, and it is pretty entertaining. Even more so, Paris to Dakar is because there's like a bunch of different classes now, and
In Baja?
well, in Baja too. There's motorcycles, there's side by sides. So like you and I could go out and buy a Razor, trick it out, and go race it. And actually, it's not that expensive. You could probably do it for under $50,000. Oh God, I put an idea in his head now, didn't I?
You think we can get a sponsor?
He's like, the wheels are turning.
Yeah, you can see them.
Yeah.
They're chugging along.
If I can get a sponsor.
You definitely need a sponsor because you're not getting paid right now.
But wah, wah.
But I mean,
Okay, so Mrs. JoSoap, forget that that whole
Sim.
sim
Grab the
thing.
sim thing.
Yeah, you got to sponsor me, or the next episode is how to fuck your wife. So.
okay then.
She's not going to allow me to come back.
We got a sponsor. We got a sponsor. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll tell
She
you
just
now.
needs to come on and be on the podcast.
I mean, trophy trucks are probably the fastest of all of those racing series.
I can Bluetooth her in.
Oh, you could. You're right.
Yeah.
No, we're
I
good.
don't, I don't want her exposed to this.
No.
That's probably just as well. She does not need to be exposed to our debauchery.
Sometimes I wonder if we should be exposed to our debauchery.
Too late.
God damn
It's
it.
too late.
We're
We
already in
spent
it.
too many years in the Coast Guard, and Tammy spent too many years married to somebody in the Coast
Yeah,
Guard.
all right. Being around way too many coasties.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, that's about all I got for racing. How long did we go?
Hour and a half.
See, and you thought we weren't even going to make an hour.
It was really stretched.
No, it was not. It wasn't stretched at all.
We could have really got into the weeds on some things.
Oh, yeah, we could have gotten into the weeds about what an asshole Lewis Hamilton is. I know he's your boy and all.
I don't mind. He's dating Kim Kardashian. Good for him.
Oh, God.
Whoa.
All right, there we go.
And this took another turn. Skank, that's for next. That's the next podcast. I'll write it down. Okay.
Look, King is my boy
Look,
now.
I'm sure y'all could have talked for hours on end, but
Oh, no, we could have.
But you have to remember you're doing it for an entertainment purpose, and you have to remember that you're having to reform what your brain is saying into something that's tangible for listeners.
Well, look, here's
So of course you could talk about, hey, you remember that one race 20 years ago where the guy should have turned left but he went right? And you could start being analytical on it. And you could talk about hydroplaning purposes and the different. And you can go on and do.
actually there is one thing I would like to touch on upon a race from was it 2007 Canada when
Good Lord,
the
20 years ago.
I can't remember his name. He had an accident. 75G impact.
Oh, shit.
Kubica.
Yeah.
He didn't live.
He did.
Actually, you want to know what injuries he suffered? What would you think?
A concussion?
So he
Broke something.
rear-ended another car, and it's really funny the way this developed because when I say rear-ended, he touched the back of another car. He lost his front wing. Traveling like 160 miles an hour, he came into a turn. Remember what Joe was saying about Jeff Gordon trying to drive a Formula One car?
Gotta
He
have
realized
yeah.
driving into the turn, he had no front downforce,
Oh, damn.
and there was a concrete wall
And just,
right into it, and he went bing, and it's like watching foosball. He hit it, and he just bounced right off.
oh my God.
75G impact. So what do you think his injuries were?
I think he had a concussion.
He had a slight concussion, yeah.
Probably some whiplash.
He had a sprained ankle. He raced 2 weeks later.
Wow.
That's how safe Formula One cars are now.
Wow.
But they can't do it with regular cars that we drive.
Sure they can, but the car's going to cost $500 million or $50 million.
Yeah.
Will it go 300 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Let's go win the lottery. On that note, we're going to buy lottery tickets.
All righty.
So that was,
You want to move into a quick happy hour before we do power hour?
sure.
We'll talk about that.
We got to feed the dogs.
daiquiri is gone.
We'll talk. All right. We're
We
going to.
got to feed the dogs.
Right.
The doggos.
Comments going out, babe?
This was a good one only because it's opened my eyes and now I'm curious. Even more curious that I started F1 this year. Now I'm even more curious to watch the rest of the races. And I'm okay with it being on Apple.
Yeah, because she watched the
That's because y'all are Apple, zombies.
aficionados. Yeah,
Zombies.
She watched very few minutes of the practice. Like, this is boring.
I didn't say it was boring. I just have
Yeah,
to
no.
I have to really just
No,
get
no.
like back into
I'll be
Yeah,
the
no,
first
no.
person to admit. Practice one,
No.
two.
You said it was boring.
turn me down.
Oh, I turned you down. You said it was boring. 100%.
Look, I think practice 1 and 2 can be it. You have to really like the technical aspect of Formula One to enjoy those practices because they're doing things to
Assess how they're
figure
going
out what the car is
Yeah.
going to be like in certain configurations.
And I don't know enough of the technical stuff to like I would watch practice for NASCAR because I understood the car. I understood what they were doing. I understood how it was made, what each part was supposed to be doing. I understood all that. So then I was like, ooh, let's see how they practice with this. Especially like for the big pack cars when they have all of the shit that you have to do for that big race, you know, for Daytona, you have to have this, you have to have that, you have to, and it's like, I know why they need to do it.
Practice is a great time for you to learn that stuff because when they
Well,
they
I'll get there.
come
they'll
out
talk
there,
about
they come
it.
out there and they do something and then instantly just like, wow,
long as
the
it's
guy's got
not-
to pull back on. He pulled off on the
As long as
track.
it's not JP and his Jankos.
He's got to pull right back
so
in.
hard to watch.
Well, have y'all figured out
very
the colors on the tire compounds?
Yes, you've already talked about that.
Well, I know, but do you know what the colors are?
Red, white, and blue.
Close.
Red,
You got
white,
2 of them.
red,
Red,
white,
white, and yellow.
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
green.
Greens are intermediates.
Yeah, something else.
Blues are full wets.
And you'll never see the full wets.
Yeah, they generally
rare.
will just pause a race before they have them go race in full wets because you can't see a goddamn thing in full wets.
Great, we got this thing that we're never going to use. But
Yeah.
but it's there.
And it's there if you ever do. It's better to need it and not or have it and not need it than need it and not have
Do
it.
you know what tire compound is what color?
All right, final words, Joseph.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me. And now that I'm going to be here longer, hoping you'll invite me over more.
Well, I'll add you a little thing on the website. You have to give me a picture of something.
Oh, we don't need all that. I'm just kidding.
Not
I'll
of you.
keep
Oh,
coming
not of
over that.
you. Maybe just look at the floor and I'll take a picture of that bald ass head of yours and I'll post that as the picture of.
I'm good with that.
You got a dog?
No.
No. You got cats?
Cats.
Yeah, you're cut off. Baby Kangaroo, what you got for outro words?
I like the episode.
Hit the button.
Turn me. No, my button's not down. You turned me off, fucker.
Yep, I sure did. I did the wrong one.
I
Hey,
like
look at
this
that.
episode because it's something that I'm passionate about. So I'm annoyed with what Formula One did, all the crap, because it's just like what the Frances have done with racing in this country. You know, it's like they're not. It's supposed to be the
Fun.
best in the world, the premiere of motorsports, and they're just fucking it all up.
Well, I disagree because this has been the exciting to me seeing everybody fuck up. Even the last year's champions, the last year's constructors champions. It's great to see them just fuck up and just go, what are we fucking doing? Hopefully the FIA listens. So on that note, we are going to have a happy hour. We're not doing power hour on the podcast, but we're going to do one after the podcast. So kind of all over the place with this one. That's auto racing. Maybe it's got you interested in it. Maybe one of you listeners decide to hit me up and say, hey, you know what? Just because you brought up the go-kart racing, I spent 15 grand on a go-kart and I'm going to send you a video and you can post it on the grams. So there's that. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to take a quick pause to feed the dogs, play the outro music, and we'll see you in the happy hour. All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to do a quick happy hour because we're actually going to go have a happy hour. So I'll play something to y'all. Play something for y'all. Find it. So the music intros, for me, if there's people who know what they're doing, it probably doesn't take long to do a 10, 20, 30-second clip or whatever it was. We spent 2 hours minimum the other day on Tammy's song.
I got 7 seconds.
It was 2 hours for this.
Set up.
Yeah, okay.
Just wait for it. Yep, that was it.
2 hours for that.
So I'm
liked it.
somebody who likes electronic music, and I'm undecided about how I feel about that.
Why?
I don't
Well, I
know.
gotta finish it. Let me finish
Of course,
it.
you know what?
It was 7 seconds.
Apparently, there were like somebody broke down how many different electronic versions or styles of music were, and they said there were like 126 or something. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
how many different ways can you play a synthesizer?
Yeah, right.
Theremin.
I liked it. I'd work out at the gym to that.
Yeah, right?
Oh no, it'd probably be a good gym workout.
Yeah.
How'd y'all like the dueling?
Dueling.
The dueling, the genres, the different genres that we started with.
Oh,
Oh, the big
Oh, the intro one?
Yeah.
I liked it.
you still haven't done one that strictly me.
the whole like
No, wait, hang on. I played that one that was.
no ma'am. I'm just chewing the thing. That's like Skrillex.
See, that'd be a good warm-up song at the gym. When I do, like if I'm going for a run, walking around the track at first, trying to get myself in the right mindset.
Everyone loves dubstep.
Did you say run?
I used to do that, yeah. Haven't done it in a long time.
Somebody chasing you?
Not then, but now that would be what it would take, yeah.
You thought about maybe listening to like some Spice Girls songs or something to get some inspiration?
That'd be a great idea.
Spice up your life.
Well, you know that Scary Spice is married to a Formula One team principal, right?
No, it's not scary. It's the redhead.
I thought that was
Ginger.
Scary Spice.
Ginger.
Ginger Spice, okay.
Is there a difference? Gender's scary. Just
Yeah, she's married to Christian Horner. Well, I guess now he's not a team principal. He will be again
He'll
probably
be
next
back.
season.
He'll be back.
So
okay.
It was-
What is a team principal?
It's like a principal of a school, but
you
of
can
a
think of
team.
him as like the general manager.
Yeah, they're the manager running the team.
Oh, okay.
But they're obviously very hands-on.
What do you mean by hands on?
I mean, like they're not.
They're included in the day to day. They're not like
Yes.
they're not
Yeah.
like an executive who just sits in a big office and lets all of his minions make all the decisions and do all the work.
Yeah, they're absolutely involved in the day-to-day racing part of it.
The old guy in the F1 movie, what is his job?
Oh, he was the team owner.
No. Not the guy who the
Javier
old guy.
Bardem.
The old guy who won his
He said
constructors champion is Rear Jackman.
He was the team principal.
Yep, he was team
Oh,
principal.
that's
in that
team
one.
principal.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what Toto was on that movie, I guess, for Mercedes at the time.
Toto is a
Yep,
team
and
principal.
he is a team principal.
And he's
Is
also
it
a
still from-
co-owner.
Is it still for Mercedes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Did he used to do that for somebody else?
Oh, I don't know.
Toto?
I don't know
No.
that much about Toto.
No, he came in.
Maybe
on,
I'm maybe
on
I'm
a portion of Mercedes, and then
maybe I'm confusing one of the other guys because Joey had made a comment about one of them. It's just like, and that's why you got fired. And it was one of the guys on. It was the Ferrari. But I don't remember.
Well, the Ferrari guy did get fired. The one in the
that's what-
movie.
Maybe that's
yeah,
what it
he's
was.
no longer the team principal for Ferrari.
and then Gunther from
Gunther Steiner?
from Haas.
Haas. Yeah.
He was in the movie. He got fired. He was the one that always said, wanker. We're like a bunch of wankers out here.
I always liked Gunther. I thought he was, he was doing the best he could with a shitty product.
Yeah.
So, are we talking about Formula One again?
Oh, I was just curious about
okay.
what that position was because the 5-time constructor champion is a rear Jackman. So we could.
So if they're sitting at race side, like with the engineers for each driver,
Yeah.
then that's the team principal.
Okay. Would if the team principals said like he told Brad Pitt to give up position,
Yeah.
and Brad Pitt basically said, "Go fuck yourself."
Which lots of drivers have done.
And okay, so that part's legit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Drivers never want to give up a position.
Okay.
The very first person you're supposed to beat is your teammate.
Because Brad Pitt, come out, he was just like, "I do answer to you, just don't ask me to give up position." It's just like basically saying a polite way of saying, "Go fuck yourself. I'm not doing it."
And there are some drivers who like, yep, Roger, you're giving me an order. I'll follow it. Or team player. Yep. I let them pass and then see what they can do. But yeah, a lot of times drivers are like,
No.
nope. And
You
they'll
can have
fight.
it. You can have it if you beat me.
Yep.
Yeah. If you
you
want to
saw-
pass me,
you-
pass me.
You saw Hamilton and Leclerc racing each other, and Leclerc was just like, "That was fucking fun."
Yeah.
And it was for what was that? 5th place, 6th place
Yeah, they're racing for like,
in that particular.
yeah. I think it was like for 3rd and 4th.
It wasn't Japan.
It was China.
Yeah. It was just funny to watch him go because I think Leclerc maybe knew Hamilton had a better car, but they just kept racing, and he's like, "Fuck you, man."
And, and again, like, yeah, it's fun racing like that, and especially with your teammate and stuff. But as you're having fun and fighting your teammate,
Oh, you're slowing each other down.
you're just allowing your competition to just take off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where if you have a teammates who go, hey, let's not fight each other. Let's help
me-
each other
yeah.
get to the front.
Yeah.
And then when you're in the lead, if
But
you want to battle like that,
If you're
sure.
down, they were down to the last 5 laps,
Yeah.
and they knew they wasn't catching anybody. They're just like, it's like a head nod thing. It's like, want to race?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Well, and the guy for the team principal for Alpine,
Alpine,
you do know they're two separate companies, right?
Alpine, and
Okay.
Alpine.
He was banned from Formula One for years for cheating.
Ooh, what'd he do?
That was he had his second driver crash into the wall
Intentionally.
so that his number 1 driver Fernando Alonso would win the Singapore Grand Prix.
Flavio Briatore. He's a big time Italian dude.
Especially the way you say it.
Yeah, so he got banned for a while, got in trouble, and then like the team lost the sponsorship because nobody wanted to be a part of the team.
wow.
Like, so ING was their big sponsor. So for the rest of that season, I think the next year, the car ran with like almost no sponsorship on it. It was just colors.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Ooh, I bet you that was a big pocket drain.
Yep. It was a big hit.
That's funny.
Yeah, let me see. I was trying to find.
We're still talking about racing.
Now I'm fixing to dive off into JoSoap. What is your favorite genre of music? Do you have a?
I see you as a country guy.
This is actually really embarrassing, but I'll be honest with you. I'm really a teeny bopper at heart.
You like the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC.
Britney Spears,
Britney
Gwen
Spears.
Stefani.
Yeah.
So I got to do a '90s pop power hour.
Sure.
God damn it.
No, my wife's going to listen to this and absolutely laugh because it's true. Like when I was in high school, like I had more girlfriends than guy friends, hung out all the time. And I grew up
I can see that.
just in school these 4 years. And I still to this day can get in the car and start jamming.
Do I need to just write on the whiteboard the rules so you can just look up there?
You think they demonetize it for that?
Yeah.
Then how do people use stuff on shorts?
No, I can't tell you. I don't know.
Why don't you find out?
Because they're
because
not
that
on-
requires effort. Why don't you do it as a producer? That's part of your job.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
So do you like the newer ones?
I do.
What is it?
He likes K-pop.
K-pop and
I don't really know a whole lot of groups now, but like
Oh,
a
okay.
song will come on and I'll just like, oh,
I like it.
I like that jam, and I can
Yeah.
just jam to it.
Okay,
Yep.
I can see that.
The F1 movie soundtrack had actually quite a few.
Oh, the F1
where it
movie
was like,
soundtrack was
okay.
Oh, I love that.
phenomenal.
Oh, I love that.
Yep.
You'd laugh, but I watched that K-pop cartoon movie.
The K-pop.
Demon Hunters?
Yeah,
I hadn't watched it, but
it was actually good.
okay.
Okay.
I like how he says it like that. He's
I
gonna
like
watch
the
it.
soundtrack from Blade, the original.
That is heavy metal.
It's
Straight up.
It's electronic. Yeah, it's heavy electronic.
we'll
music.
listen
It's
to it.
industrial.
I watched the Blade movies again not too long ago. Actually, I'm not sure they hold up.
We watched them at work.
They hold up.
1, 2, and 3.
I don't know if they hold up.
What inspired that watch through?
Boredom.
No, because I think we watched the Deadpool.
And you've gotten to the end of the movie internet.
Yeah, we watched the new Deadpool, and when they go and Blade's there,
I think I'm getting close to the end of the.
and then of course
work.
Deadpool
you,
is in
You have found it.
Yeah.
Blade
You
as
found
Wade Wilson. So I was like, meh, let's check him out.
Yeah.
The only one that was actually still really legit and I found
One.
entertaining was the one with Wade Wilson.
Oh, that's
Really?
the worst one.
Yeah,
No, that's the third
That's
one.
the
Yeah,
third one.
that's the worst one.
I'm inclined to agree with you. The only redeeming part about that movie was Jessica Biel.
she was horrible in it.
Even if she'd have done the whole movie naked, still wouldn't have made it up.
I think one is still
One's
the
the
best.
best, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because sure, but
I mean, it's Chris Christopherson.
it is, and he probably makes the movie, to be quite honest, because the acting was awful.
Who is that?
We ain't exactly the March of Dimes.
Chris Christopherson, the old guy that helped Blade out.
Oh,
He was
what was
in.
his name in the movie?
Oh, I can't remember what his name was in the movie, but he's known for an older series of shows.
Well, he did.
they're back there going ham, and Remy
God,
brings me
what?
a toy. Your dad.
The one that he did.
It's the duck's foot.
She's like, I found this.
I see you got the duck's foot. Are you saving it? Yeah.
Oh God, isn't that
Saving
terrible?
it.
I can't even remember. The movie that Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga just made.
A Star is Born.
Chris Christopherson did it with. I wonder what that was. Hope nothing broke. He did it with. Oh God, what's her name? I can't stand her, but she's a Jewish lady with a really big nose, but she does have a good voice. Okay, I'm looking it up. Apparently that movie has been made like 4 times. Let's see.
Did they tear it up good? All right.
It was made in 1937 by
19?
people nobody has any idea who these people are. And then in 1954 with Judy Garland and James Mason. And then in 1976 with Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson. And then again in 2008 with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Speaking of Lady Gaga, I saw the second Joker movie in the hotel the other day.
And
Awful
yeah.
trash.
Couldn't make
She's
it.
in
I-
it.
Like
Yeah, she's
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. Yeah.
that was
Awful.
garbage.
Yeah.
I didn't even
of
like
a
the
movie.
I didn't even like the first one, but I heard the second one was more like a musical of some sort.
It was
Yeah.
And
trash.
I had no interest in even watching it.
I almost
be
wanted
quite
to turn
honest.
Madam Web back on. Like,
Have you even made it through Madam Web yet?
I finished it.
Did you?
Because I started and I felt like I had to commit.
Yeah, you gotta.
See, that was the one that you could finish just to be like, what do you do at the end?
yeah,
I finished the second Joker movie. It
I
ended,
couldn't.
and I was like, I'm disappointed in myself that I just wasted
Okay.
this time.
I think the first of those 2 Joker movies.
Yep.
The first one would have been a good movie if you would have left out the Joker name and just said mental health problem movie.
Yeah.
Or maybe something a little more catchy, but your point is well made.
Yeah. I mean, that's all it is. Because I was like, oh, yeah, mental health is a real thing. But you're trying to say this is related to Batman and Superman and Robin and Nightwing. This is what you made to tie into that DC universe. Like, this is shit.
Yeah.
I felt the exact same way about Tokyo Drift until the last 5 seconds of the movie when
we're gonna have to revisit that. But yeah, because it was just stupid. Like, first of all, where in the timeline was that Joker at? He's really fucking old, and you're trying to say he's really fucking old, starting off as Joker and just about to discover Batman?
Yeah.
He's going to be dead in 10 years. You're too fucking old, whoever that fucking guy that does that. It was stupid. And then, a musical for a
DC.
For a love-themed, this is how she fell in love with him. And
I would rather watch the Harley Quinn cartoons.
Oh, those are awesome.
Those were awesome.
I love those.
I
love those.
Anybody who makes animated DC deserves pay raises.
I agree. All of the animated DC stuff, I thoroughly enjoy.
Animated Batman.
Awesome.
Animated Batman is
Coming home after
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Was the
Love
show.
It. Love it.
It don't even matter. No, it not show anything animated Batman.
Yeah.
Show,
Agreed.
movies, all the movies on WB are phenomenal. All the versions of Batmans that are animated, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Everything else is subject.
Yeah.
It's questionable. Yeah, I don't know what the fuckers thought about that. Whoa.
I don't know. I wouldn't even give it. I don't even want to waste my time trying to watch it because I knew I wasn't going to like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't my taste.
Finished Madam Web, couldn't finish Joker 2.
Yeah.
I watched the first Joker.
I didn't even like the first Joker. I felt like that after the first Joker. I was like, why did I'm never going to get that 2 hours of my life back.
I finished the first Joker, left the theater.
It ended. Oh, you went. Oh, you paid to go see it.
When I was on a trip. I was on a work trip in Canada. So I just did it to burn some time. But I remember leaving like, okay, I saw it.
Never going to watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like the original, like the first one with
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton.
Yep.
Yeah.
What this town needs is an enema.
Yep.
Like, this just classic lines. That is like the best
Yep.
Batman.
Heath Ledger was great.
Heath Ledger was great. That was a very dark.
Best Joker ever.
But that's the Joker you wanted.
Correct.
You wanted the dark
Yeah.
side, and he
Yeah.
brought it.
He did.
You know.
He did.
Yeah, that was the best. Like, I'm not shitting on Jack from the first one, but yeah, Heath Ledger's the best Joker.
They were
so
just
far.
completely.
Yeah.
I mean,
They were
they were
different.
different movies.
I know. It's the. I understand. Look, I'm not going to argue the time when it was done because I still think Jack was the best Joker in that time.
Oh, yeah.
Period. But
Yeah.
in an overall arching thing, Heath Ledger was the best Joker.
Yeah.
Just
Agreed.
because you just think fucking crazy, and he's fucking running around killing places, and he fucking hates Batman, and he's doing psychological shit, and it's just like it just worked in an overarching totality of a kind of thing.
Yeah. I think Christian Bale was the best Batman.
In that regards, I kind of agree. Like Michael Keaton's still the best, but in
Agreed.
that
But the Michael Keaton movie wasn't super dark like the Christian Bale movies were.
You didn't like the glittery vampire boy?
He wasn't that bad. He was actually
I
quite,
like that movie.
He actually was quite surprising in that role. I was
that
thoroughly
was-
impressed.
I felt like they
but I like him as
took
an
the
actor.
Christian Bale movies and they said, "Oh, you think that's dark? Oh,
Yes.
no.
We'll give you even
We're
darker."
going to show you dark."
I'm
Yeah.
okay with that version of Batman.
yeah,
The Riddler villain character drove me nuts.
Who played him? I've only seen it once. I really should watch it again. But I know I liked it.
I'm not saying it had to be like Jim Carrey Riddler,
Yeah,
because that was a whole nother extreme.
sure.
Loved it as a kid. Now as an adult, hope my kids don't listen to this. Like, I can't do it now. I just didn't like the way he portrayed himself in that, the way, like the costume and just, that wasn't my thing.
Your interpretation of what the Riddler should be like.
Yeah.
Just didn't hit you on the.
Oh, Sparkly Boy Batman movie has hands down the best penguin
100%.
because they made a fucking
Ping one? Is that what you said?
Penguin?
Oh, penguin. I heard ping one. Sorry.
I didn't watch the series.
penguin.
Was the series good?
Oh, the series was
Oh, God.
phenomenal.
It made me go back and watch the Batman movie.
Yeah.
Like it was that good because I was like, where the fuck was he at in the movie? It's got to watch the whole movie now. Just
Like
to
he was again, to Brad's
So-
point about Tom Cruise, you had no idea that was Colin Farrell.
No.
Like
Yeah, it's
clearly
fucking
he has prosthetics and whatever, but you had no clue that was who was playing him.
doesn't sound like him. Obviously, with the prosthetics, like I said, doesn't look like him. Couldn't tell shit.
Mm-hmm.
Super good show. I mean, the Penguin's a fucked up villain to Batman. You really find out some fucked upness of Penguin. Ping one of his backstory. It's fucking
Yeah,
dope.
it's really.
I need to go
it's
back and
really
watch that
good.
movie again. I haven't seen it since it came out.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it since it
Sparkly
came out either.
Batman?
Yeah,
Yeah, Sparkly Batman.
We own
I
the
need to go back
original
and watch it.
4, and so I like watching it with the kids and like,
with Michael Keaton
yep.
and
And
Val Kilmer and
you love the first 2, and then
yes,
as a kid I loved them, but as an adult you forgot how cheesy they got.
Yes.
The 3rd and 4th, and you watch it and you're like,
Yikes.
oh, this is awful.
So Val Kilmer and
George Clooney.
George Clooney, those ones I'm just like I can't even get through anymore.
Oh yeah.
I can't.
The one-liners.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a one-liner.
Christian
Arnold-
Slater
oh.
is the Robin, and Alicia Silverstone is Batgirl or whatever.
Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell. That's right.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Chris O'Donnell. I was just like, come on, this is awful.
Did you watch the Flash movie?
Yes,
Did you like that?
I did. I like the Keaton coming back.
Yeah, okay. Because like the guy that plays the Flash, he is human trash.
Yep.
But the movie worked. So I thought the movie was good just because it had Batman in it, and I thought that was great. That's a whole nother timeline story. Weirdness, infinite. What is it called? Oh man. What's the DC's version of
Of the multiverse.
multiverse?
I can't remember what that DC.
You know what I
calls it.
mean? Because it's Flash that's
He always
doing-
goes back in time or
he keeps
whatever.
screwing shit up. And
Yeah.
never can get it right. And he always tries to time travel again. I'm going to do it again.
I'll go back and fix it.
I can do it this time. No, you can't.
I liked the guy who played the Flash in the new
The TV
WB
shows.
show.
The TV show.
Yeah.
That guy could have easily just done that movie. Instead, they had to pick
Yeah.
human trash. Bentley.
I just want to play. You just ate. Let your food settle.
All
Then
right.
he comes over to you.
You know. All right. Well, let's wrap this up. We got what you guys got to think.
Oh, ready
Herp
to,
derp.
ready to just
Yeah, we're gonna
wrap it up.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up and fade away into a, I guess 90s or 2000s
Hey, whatever you want.
pop. No, we're doing it. This
Yeah.
is kind of you.
Let's do it.
90s, 2000 pop power hour to see
90
JoSoap can handle
90 early 2000s. That was early 2000s.
can handle power hour.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Hope you didn't eat too much
Just
meat
the
and
meat.
crackers.
I saved myself from the cheese. I just ate the meat and the crackers, so I appreciate it.
Because there was no cheese in it.
Sure wasn't.
It's just the meat.
So the story is Tammy asked me to pick up a cracker, meat, and cheese platter. Or what do you call this?
I call it a charcuterie board, but charcuterie. But it's
Coochie
just,
board.
It's just meat, cheese, and crackers. And he brought home just meat and crackers.
Because I don't remember there ever being just meat and crackers, so I just picked one up in the damn
This
thing.
is the first time I've ever seen this, so good to
I can understand your mistake.
I just saw it in there, and I was like, that's got to have everything. Fuck it, let's go. Fuck. At least I got somebody on my side.
I mean, it's not bad. I mean, everyone can eat pepperoni and salami unless you're
Yeah,
a
and it got
vegetarian.
devoured. Nobody would have cared about cheese.
That's fine.
You'd have threw it away anyway.
Whatever. I would have ate it.
I love cheese.
I do too.
I love lamp. I love lamp. All right. On that note, we're going to fade away from this episode. If you made it this far, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Peace.